last night. As we take a live look, we want to bring in meteorologist Dylan Dreyer because the National Weather Service is going to be out there, trying to figure out how many tornadoes touched down and whether it was one tornado that kept going up in the air and coming back down, and also the severity of these tornadoes. So let's talk a little bit about the scale, Dylan. I know we usually don't see tornadoes around here. The last time we saw a deadly one was in 1995. EF0 to EF5 is the scale. What is the National Weather Service experts going to be looking for to try and figure out what this was?
Well, they basically go out, they assess the damage, and then they determine the strength of the tornado. Now, we average about 2 to 3 tornadoes around here a year, so getting a tornado just itself is not that rare of an occurrence, but we're normally in the EF0, EF1 range, and some of the damage that you see with that is minor to moderate. You know, you have roofs that come off some of the homes, you have mobile homes overturned, you could see some loss of exterior doors and broken windows, but with the damage that we're seeing in the video that we're getting, I think we're more along the lines of an EF3 tornado or EF4, perhaps a strong 3 into a minor 4, and that's when you have severe damage. I mean, we are seeing multi-leveled homes destroyed. We are seeing severe damage to large buildings. We're seeing cars being turned upside down. We're seeing whole homes being turned upside down. And you know what this means is that the National Weather Service now goes back and then classifies it as a storm. You know, it's a little opposite of a hurricane where we know it's a Category 3 or Category 4 that's coming, and then you brace yourself based on that. Well, this is reversed. It takes the damage and then it determines what it is. And normally we don't see tornadoes that strong around here. Again, we're talking about EF0s and EF1s. Now, I'm sure you remember a few years back, we used to just say F1, F2. Basically, this new system here, it's the enhanced FUJITA scale. And what that is instead of just saying a large building is toppled over or a large building is damaged, now it's determining, is this a wooden structure or is this a brick structure? Is this a cement structure? So basically, we're now getting a little more enhanced, I guess, for lack of a better word here, and a little more specific. So we'll determine the damage, and that will also determine the strength of the storm. And I also mentioned, you know, we've kind of been going back and forth. We've had 2 spotted tornadoes and actually 3 reported tornadoes, but are there actually 2 or 3 tornadoes? Well, if a tornado hits the ground and then goes back up and then touches the ground again, that's another tornado. So if one did come up the ground and then retouch back on the ground, then we will have more than 3 tornadoes or more than 2 tornadoes. But we definitely had 2 tornado outbreaks, one around 4 o'clock, one around 6 o'clock. So that's why, you know, it's just these little nuances now that the National Weather Service will go out, iron out the details, and then in a couple days come out with a full report that says here is exactly what happened. There were X amount of tornadoes and they were this strong.